How's it going? Thank you for coming out of this wonderful A-leg. I just got back from Southeast Asia, doing some stand-up over there. Really cool people. Yeah, it's the shit. Wonderful people. Unbelievable level of poverty and stuff. I almost fall off the stage. Makes it hard to complain, though, you know? You see that level of poverty? Come back, your throat's all itching and stuff. Probably got Ebola, you know? It would be a good thing to bring that here, you know? Just to kind of thin out the traffic a little bit, right? Why don't they ever just let it burn through one time? Why do we always gotta, like, jump on it? You ever had one of those selfish thoughts? Like, what if it was a bunch of people who died, nobody you knew or loved, right? And then the next day, you just get to tear right through the Lincoln Tunnel at about 5 in the evening, right? The only thing you'd have to suppress is the guilt of not missing those people you didn't know, right? I shouldn't make fun of Ebola. I don't know anything about it. Other than if you get it, you have this unbelievable urge to go to the airport, right? Yeah, I don't know what it is. Nobody gets Ebola, just has the decency to just walk out in the woods by themselves and just bleed out like a gentleman, right? For some reason, you got to go right down to the airport. Oh, can I downgrade to a middle seat? So, I'm sick of Obama's wife. Yeah. This isn't some Republican rant either. It's just kind of first ladies in general. You know, I don't know what it is. All throughout my life, with each presidency, like these first ladies, they've just gotten more and more like chatty. You know? More and more chiming in, like leaning into the frame, spitting out their ideas. It's just like, well, why are you talking? Right? You weren't elected. Shut up. Your husband's not running a lemonade stand here. He's running the country. You don't just chime in. Let me guess, is this considered sexist? It is? Why? Well, okay, you just nodded there, lady. Let me ask you this, all right? Let's say you had a leak in your house, okay? You call a plumber up. He shows up, and he goes, yeah, I think the leak's coming from the upstairs bathroom. We need to shut it up, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, his wife walks in, who isn't a plumber. And then goes, oh, you know, I'm actually thinking it's kind of... Wouldn't you be like, with all due respect, shut the fuck up. I need a plumber in this moment. I'll extend an olive branch here. All right, at some point, there's going to be the first female president, right? Exactly. Which means at that moment, you're going to have the first male first lady, right? And when that happens, that dude needs to shut his trap. I don't want to hear a word out of him. I want to hear from the president. You, sir, go do some first lady stuff, all right? Go get yourself some gloves that go up to your elbows. Smile and nod during speeches. Go put your own flair redecorating the White House, right? Which leads you to Michelle Obama, right? And now she's sitting there holding up those hashtags. Remember that hashtag, bring back our girls? Remember that? It's like, that blew my mind. It's like, why are you showing me that? I'm a stand-up comedian. Like, what am I gonna do to get those girls back? Why don't you look across the dinner table? It's like, you see that guy? That is the leader of the free world. Tell him to pick up a phone, call some Navy SEALs and solve it. What am I gonna do? Show up with a sharpened mic stand? Hey, Michelle said to bring him back. Oh, it's unreal. I'll tell you what kills me. Hillary Clinton might run. She might run. That blows my mind. I mean, how she became a senator. She went from being the president's wife to being a senator. Just like that. Lateral move. That's like Tom Brady's wife becoming the next quarterback of the Rams. It's like, what, you hanging out? You just pick it up? I sucked at sports, and then I banged Tom Brady, and I don't know what happened. I just picked up a ball. I started lacing it. I'm leading receivers. It was incredible. All right, I'm out of time. You guys were awesome. Thank you so much. The hell have I been doing with my life? Trying to get in shape, man. I hate going to the gym, so I decided I'd go veggie twice a week. It's brutal. I can only make it till about 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, that's what I realized about myself. You know that? Something has to die every day in order for me to live. Something's got to get its beak chopped off, its feathers yanked, uppercut to its jaw, just in order for me to survive. I'm trying. Couscous and all that shit. It's awful. I saw this thing, though, that they said if everybody went vegan. If everybody went vegan, though, it would be a vegetarian, whatever the hell they said, one of those V ones, right? And they said it would be great for the environment. You know, because I guess there's all this cattle standing around, and when they fart, the gas goes up in the atmosphere and causes something, right? They're always doing that shit. You know, if everybody went vegan, the air would be, if everybody drove an electric car, if everybody just had some snowshoes on, right? They just won't come out and say it. Nobody has the balls to come out and say it and just say, look, 85% of you have to go. That's it. That is it. I have been bitching about the population problem for 3 specials in a row. Waiting for some politician to have the balls to bring it up, but they won't do it. They won't do it. We live in a democracy, right? Can't be honest in a democracy. You need the votes. You can't run with that as your platform. Coming out there, and if elected, I would implement a program to immediately eliminate at least 85% of you. This planet cannot sustain the sheer numbers. Let me finish. This will not be arbitrary. Under your seats is a multiple choice questionnaire. If you did not bring a pencil, you're already out. Can't do that. You gotta be nice. You gotta be fucking nice, especially this day and age, man. Everybody getting in trouble. All these goddamn groups out there, bitch moaning and complaining. Anytime anybody says anything, hey, we're part of a group. You gotta apologize. I'm sorry to people who own Sharpies. I didn't mean to say that it's an ugly-ass dog. Nah, right? You know what? Fuck you and your group. What about that? What do you got, like 2 million people in your group? There's 400 million in this country. Nobody gives a shit, right? Who the fuck joins a group? I'm gonna join a group. That's what I'm gonna do today. Go to meetings. Kind of a fucking loser, right? That's the same way I look at people laugh who got upset about, you know, Michael Sam, the gay football player, kissing his boyfriend when he got drafted. Everybody bitch moaning and complaining. It's like, dude, you know what? That's what you get for watching the draft. All right? You know, once again, what kind of a fucking loser just sits there watching round after round? The Jets are up next. I think they need a cornerback. They need to improve the defensive line. Dude, that's like going to a graduation ceremony where you don't know anybody who's graduating and just fucking sitting there. They're gonna have the whole list the next day. They'll have everybody who drafted, who, when. Fucking gotta sit there and watch that shit. Those stupid interviews. Hey, you're a member of the Buffalo Bills. How does it feel?
Well, you know, it's a blessing. I want to thank God. I'm going to try to do my best. It's a great organization. And same shit the last 80 guys said. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad he kissed him. He should have fucking blown him. Yeah. With birthday cake in his mouth and a Santa Claus hat on his head. Just to ruin the entire year. Holding a flag. That fucks up Flag Day. You'll keep thinking about it. Yeah. Fucking stupid-ass groups. People apologizing to them like they have some sort of power. Look, if you're being a dick, apologize. But other than that, yeah, go fuck yourself. Yeah. Everybody's evil. We all got our stuff, you know what I mean? You got a hooker. Hey, who hasn't? Seriously, let me tell you something right now. Every guy basically has 3 stories, okay? He's got a hooker story, he's got a going to jail story, and he's got a getting his ass kicked story. Right, am I right? Seriously. And once you have those 3 stories, then you can get married. Because you got the evil out of you. You're not going to worry. What was that like? I remember I did that. I got my ass kicked. It was stupid. Because that's what guys do, man. We sit around and we tell stories. A good story is always you doing something wrong. You know? That's why nice people are so damn boring. I mean, they're nice, but their stories suck. A nice person tells you a story. Halfway through it, I just want to start screaming, you know? It's like I went to the beach today, saw sunrise and a picnic. I'm like, ah! Where are the hookers? Where's the drugs? Those are 2 key elements for a story. Did the cops show up, then you didn't do anything. I'm telling you, man. You know when someone's telling you a good story, though? I love stories. I can tell you right now, when someone's telling you a good story, you always can tell because their voice drops like 3 octaves, like a minute into the story. You know what I mean? Starts off in a normal tone, always like normal. Like, man, went to the bar last night, the place was packed. All of a sudden, this chick came in, man, I do this, down this. I was like, what? That's the good part, that's the evil. I want to hear that. Good stories are always told quietly, but bad stories are always told way too damn loud. You know, you'd be like on the bus, you'd be sitting in the front row of the bus, and there's some jackass 20 rows back telling the worst story ever, and you can hear every word of it. Oh my God, we were watching TV last night, it was unbelievable. All of a sudden he'd shut off, we were like, wow, that never happened before. Then we realized the cat knocked the plug out of the outlet. Shut up! Don't you wish good stories were told loudly? You know, make your day so much damn more enjoyable, you know? You're like riding on the bus, getting to work, and some guy tells some crazy story 20 rows back, you're hearing it, be great. Like some guy, Daryl, how was your night? It's pretty crazy, man. I was riding in my car, I looked down to turn the station, I hit some dude on a bike. Yeah, he got up, so I just took off, man. I think he got my plate. Look, don't tell anybody or I'll kill you. I'm good at this. I fuck up my personal life all the time, man. I really do, you know? I'm afraid to get married, man. Why man wouldn't be afraid to get married at this point? You know, look at Kobe. Look at the shit he's going through right now. All right? Guy's getting a divorce. His wife's gonna get $70 million. Never hit a layup in her life. You know, can anybody explain these divorce settlements? Can anybody make sense of these fucking things? Tiger Woods' wife, $250 million. She's a babysitter. Worth $250 million fucking dollars. Somebody, go ahead. Somebody, explain, justify it. Justify it. What, he cheated on her? I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. He cheated on her. Great, the relationship's over right then. Kobe cheated, right? Shouldn't that relationship been over right then? Why did she hang around like some jaded cop for 3 years trying to get her fucking pension, right? Get that 10 years in? I don't know, maybe that's too harsh. That shit bothers me, man. Dude, there is an epidemic of gold-digging whores in this country. And every night I put on the news, and I'm waiting for someone to address it. Every night, never see it, you know? And every night I bring up gold-digging whores, and the whole crowd pulls back like I'm up here talking about Bigfoot, right? Like I'm saying the moon's made out of cheese or something. Talking about whores, people. They're everywhere. How many? How many more great men are going to get chopped in half before we do something? Why is it so quiet in here? God damn, I don't get it. What is it? Is it women? Do you think I'm calling you? I'm not calling any woman here a whore, okay? So don't pull back. That's not fair, okay? If you brought up wife beaters, I wouldn't like pull back. I get it. There's guys hitting women, they need to be stopped. We gotta understand that gold-digging whores are the wife beaters for men. Yeah, they are. Except we don't have that Rihanna lumped up photo in the end, so it's not obvious. It's in the eyes. It's in the lines in your face. It's in Mel Gibson's high-pitched voice on the answering machine. I had to give up my Laker tickets, right? That is the sound of a man being taken for everything he's got. I gotta tell you, I'm envious of women, okay? I'm not saying your problems get solved, but at least they're taken seriously. You know? People, you got 1-800 numbers, you got ribbons, there's groups. People give a shit. Anything happens to a guy, it's just considered funny. Some woman cut her husband's dick off, threw it in the garbage disposal, and turned it on. People thought it was hilarious. They were, hey, Stumpy! Nobody cares. Do you think if a guy removed a woman's titty and threw it in the dryer, anybody would be joking about it the next day? The entire country would grind to a halt. There'd be a moment of silence. The NFL would have some special colored headband everybody had to wear for an entire month. The most effeminate color they could possibly come up with. All my heroes are going down. Arnold Schwarzenegger, another great man. Another great man. Taken down by that gold-digging whore of a maid he's got. And I'm not saying he's not a piece of shit for doing what he did. It was a piece of shit move. But how come only he got chastised? What about the maid? Why was she called the maid that entire story? She was never called a whore, ever. Just boggled my mind. She knew his wife, first name basis, played with their kids, fucked her husband in their own goddamn bed. That's right down the checklist. First ballot Hall of Fame whore, right there. Never. Why do you think she hooked up with him? Because of that 1987 flat top he's still rocking? The giant space between his teeth I could put this mic cord through? Or do you think maybe it's all that kindergarten cop money laying around the goddamn bedroom? No, it's awful. It's a horrific thing to see as a guy, watching guys go through that shit, you know? And then there's no sort of examination of it. They just go, he's an idiot. Hey, he's stupid. That guy's stupid. If that guy's stupid, what the fuck am I, right? Does it even make sense? Why would you do that? Why would you accomplish all that and then fuck it up, hooking up with one of the ugliest human beings I've ever seen in my life? Not saying I'm a prize, I'm just saying, you know? It's got to be something beyond that, right? You know what I think it is? I think it comes down to the way he talks, you know? That dude should be unloading trucks in Transylvania. That should have been the height of his success. But because he's a great man, he had the balls to move to America. Became famous for lifting weights. I lift weights, nobody gives a shit. He lifts weights, becomes super famous. Did he rest on his laurels? No, next challenge. I'm gonna become an actor despite the fact that nobody can really understand me. Against all odds, he starts making movies. Get down, there's a bomb, get out of there. Becomes one of the biggest blockbuster stars of all time. What are you gonna do next, Arnie? I think I'm marrying Kennedy. There's no fucking way you can do that. Bam, he does it. Cherry on top, I'm running for governor of a state I can't even pronounce, and he wins the election. Why wouldn't this guy think he couldn't bang his maid in his own bed and get away with it? This dude has been in the zone for over 4 decades. 4 decades, nothing but net. Bang a maid in my own bed? Dude, that's a layup. Are you serious? I had a hit movie with a midget. I don't even need a condom. Right? And then what happens? The smoke clears. Then all these trolls come out of the woodwork and start judging this great man. All these fatties, these fucking old guys who never got any with their jowls, coming on TV, absolutely reprehensible behavior. What kind of a public servant? His legacy is like they have any idea what it's like to be tempted at that level, right? Like they have groupies as they waddle out to their Mercury Tracer, parked on the other side of a dumpster. Really? You're beating them off? This guy, he's not a great man anymore? Terminator doesn't count? Is that what the fuck you're telling me? Because he fucked Alice? Really? He's still not a great man because he did that. Then the whole thing's over? Anybody here think they could move to Austria, learn the language, become famous for working out, then be a movie star, then marry into their royalty and hold public office? How many lifetimes would you need? I'm on my 3rd attempt at Rosetta Stone Spanish. All right? How can I judge these guys? I can barely handle the temptations of Facebook. I'm gonna judge Tiger Woods? I golf. I don't walk off the 18th hole and there's a busload of Scandinavian women waiting to fuck my brains out. Sorry, ladies, gotta go home to the wife, right? No, it kills me. And there's no help out there for guys. There isn't. There's nothing out there to help you handle becoming rich and famous. There's nothing to prepare you for that platoon of whores that's gonna form on the horizon, right? Like Braveheart, faces painted, skirts on, will run down the hill, they'll jump on your dick in front of your wife. They don't give a shit. It's not even a handbook out there. I saw one article written about it on the cover of Time magazine. It said, why do so many rich, famous, and powerful men act like absolute pigs, right? And the article was actually written by a woman. That's like me writing a book, The Third Trimester and What to Expect. Ladies, you're gonna feel a pressure. How the hell would I know? You don't want to hear that from me, right? Then why is this woman telling me what it's like to have a dick? That makes no sense. You have no idea what it's like to have a dick. 24/7, do it, fuck it, do it. That's what it's saying. Do it. Yeah, do it. That's how we survived as a species. Every man in here is programmed to fuck 85% of the women in this room. Right? Yeah, we are. Do it, fuck it, do it, you know? It's just that you won't. That's the only reason why we don't, you know? That's not you keeping your dick in check, you know? Some guy at Home Depot working there, he wants to fuck just as many women as a celebrity, right? But he can't do it because whores don't care about lumber, right? But the second he hits the fucking lottery, all of a sudden, you know, that do it, fucking do it, you know? That wasn't affecting his life. Then all of a sudden these whores show up. I'll do it, I'll suck it, I'll do it, right? No, somebody's got to step up, all right? I'm not even blaming whores, really. Just guys, we're fucking idiots. What are we doing? Why are we working so hard and then giving it all away to some chick who did 3 shifts at a fucking Hooters, you know? They're fucking bums sitting there with fucking Dorito dust in their cleavage, walking around with hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm sick of that shit. That's what the law says. 100 years ago, I could beat you with a fucking mop handle and be like, well, that's what the law says. Doesn't make us right. No, it's unreal. And all this shit's going down, and we're not doing anything. What are we doing? Same old shit. Sitting around watching Shark Week, right? Watching shit about poisonous snakes half a world away, just filling your head up with all this useless information. What to do if you come face to face with a Bengal tiger. Don't look at it, don't look away. Slowly back up as you push your friend forward, right? All this useless information, yet hanging between your legs is this thing that could crumble your entire empire 7 minutes or less. Don't know a fucking thing about it. Even worse, you think it's your friend. Yeah, you know why? Because your dick's like a dreamer, you know? Your dick believes. It's like a motivational speaker. I don't give a shit what question you ask it. It's always like, yeah, absolutely. Sounds like a plan. Exit strategy. Later, we'll be fine. Where's your dick when you get caught, right? Then it's just slumped over like, hey, I thought it was a good idea, you know? Yeah. You have to know that. Dude, if your dick was a third base coach, it wouldn't hold anybody up. It'd just be fucking waving people around. Everybody, go in standing up. You got it. Oh, shit, here she comes. Slide. All right. So, I don't know. My girl's been bugging me lately. She's ready to settle down. I think I'm ready to settle down, too, you know? I got the one. I know I've been saying this shit for years. I have been, you know? She's great. The only thing I don't like is she's really into reality TV. She watches all those dumb shows, put 10 whores in a house. Somebody tries to find a wife, right? She watches fat people cry about fudgicles. Just blubber in their eyes. Oh, sometimes I don't even open the wrapper. I just start eating, and then I get down to the stick, and I know I should stop because it's made out of wood. She's just there crying right along with them. Yeah, throw yourself in the river, you fat fuck. She gets so mad at me. It's like, look, I don't put on TV to cry. I like to be entertained. I love when they fall on the treadmill and go flying into the drywall. It's like some modern-day medieval weapon. I love it. All those horrific shows. Biggest fights we have. She watches Intervention. There's another, yeah, that's, you like that? Oh my God, it's so awesome. Watching a family completely fall apart. What is entertaining about that when they have that classic before picture, the pre-meth picture? She was so beautiful. She was the prom queen. Everybody loved her. Then they cut to her like laying in like a gutter. I'll suck your dick. I'll suck your dick. I'll suck your dick. No, we have these huge battles. You know what the maddest she ever got at me was? One time she was watching this show. It was like a poor excuse for The View. And they started talking about domestic violence, right? For the 9 millionth time this year, they're talking about domestic violence. Just in case, you didn't get the memo, Evidently, just some people didn't get it. It's not okay to slam your wife's head into the cupboard drawers because she didn't dry the can opener off properly, It's gonna fucking rust, right? How do you not know not to do that shit? Do they really have to keep talking about it? It's like wife beaters watching. Oh, fuck! Ah! Now I get it. Upset daisy, sweetheart. Here we go. There you go. Oh. So at the end of the hour, they come to the logical conclusion. They're like, there is no reason to hit a woman. There is no reason to hit a woman. And I was just like, really? I could give you like 17 right off the top of my head. You could wake me from a drunken stupor, I could still give you like 9. Dude, there's plenty of reasons to hit a woman. You just don't do it. But to sit there and suggest that there's no reason. Dude, the level of ego behind that statement. What are you, levitating above the rest of us? You're never annoying? Women, how many times have you thought about slapping your fucking guy in the head this week? There you go. Every day. You didn't do it, right? Oh, dude, it drives me nuts. There's no reason. There's no reason. Really? No reason? How about this? You marry a girl, you fall in love, you buy her a house. You go to work every day paying off the house. You come home one day, she's banging the next door neighbor, hands you divorce papers. You got to move out, sleep on a futon, and still pay for that house that she's going to stay in. No reason. I'm not saying you should do it, but there's plenty of fucking reasons in that arc of a story. All right, that was a hypothetical. You want an actual story? I'll give you one. All right, I fucked up my foot playing drums, trying to get my bass drum foot as fast as John Bonham's, because I figure that's a good thing to focus on. 43 years of age, never married, no kids. I figure this is going to lead me to the light, right? This is what I need to do. So I don't know what I did. I felt like after I played for like an hour, and afterwards I felt like literally like there was some midget stabbing me in the bottom of my foot, right? Like I had lightning coming out of the bottom of my foot. So I did the typical guy thing. I'm like, I'm not going to the hospital. I'll sleep it off. Be fine, right? Next morning I wake up, my foot's even worse, and I got to walk my crazy dog. So I'm like, I can't do it. My foot's killing me. So I wake up my girl, go, sweetheart, can you do me a favor? Can you walk the dog for me? Can you just take the shift? I'll do your afternoon shift. Can you just do me this solid? Can you do this for me? And she's just like, oh, I had a late night last night. I'm tired. I have a big day. And I just go, fuck it. She goes, what do you mean, fuck it? It's like, why can't you just say no? Why do you always gotta like waterboard me with like a 20-minute explanation that eventually winds its way around to go, fuck yourself? Just say no. So I'm just limping out of the room. Whatever, go back to bed. You got a big day, right? So now I'm like limping down the street. I got like Tourette's, fucking goddamn bullshit. Dog's walking next to me. And I gotta admit, I got a little childish. I did. I got a little childish, I was just thinking about my relationship. I'm like, this is the relationship I'm in? You just gonna do whatever the hell you wanna do, right? And fuck me? Fine, I'm gonna do whatever the hell I wanna do. I feel like listening to my iPod on full blast, walking around the house. That's what I'm gonna do. So that's what I did. Turned it all the way up, and my whole plan was just to walk by her like I didn't even know her. That was it. She came down the hall, I just ghosted her. Just walked right past her. Just trying to piss her off. And I gotta tell you something, worked like a charm. Worked like a charm. Yeah, hung my coat up, turned around. By the time I turned around, she was already yelling at me. But the music was so loud, not only could I not hear her, it actually looked like she was singing the song that I was listening to. It's one of the highlights of the relationship. So I knew what she was saying. I was like, whatever, I don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone. I'm going on to the computer, right? So I limp over and I sit down, and unbeknownst to me, she's like, now, we're going to talk about this right now. Comes up, poof, and slaps the headphones off my head. I got big ears. It fucking hurt. So I'm like, honey, leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. Put the headphones back on. She comes right back up again. Poof, slaps them off a little harder. This time they spin halfway around my head. Caveman DNA starts coming up. Talking through my teeth. Honey, leave me alone. Don't want to talk about it, right? Put them on third time. She comes up. Poof, slaps him right across the room, and I snap. I'm like, fine. You want to have the fight? Let's fucking have the fight. She's like, we will discuss this later when you calm down. Right there. I just wanted to roll her up on her yoga mat and stuff her behind the couch. Just leave her there until she got thirsty. Come on, let me out of here. I have a spin class. You've made your point. This is ridiculous. No, that's the thing. Really is. That's the thing. I hate that saying there's no reason. Obviously, I'm not saying to hit a woman, you know. But saying there's no reason, I think that's crazy. When you say there's no reason, that kills any sort of examination as to how two people ended up at that place. If you say there's no reason, you cut out the build-up, you're just left with the act. How are you going to solve it if you don't figure it out? Look how awkward it is in here right now. I said you shouldn't hit a woman. I'm just saying, how come you can't ask questions? You can only ask questions about what the guy did. You can never ask about the woman. Why is that? Why is that? What is that? What does answer him right mean? What does that mean? Are you the idiot who got up halfway through the special during the bit and you're like walking around like I'm not fucking taping a special here? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Fucking had to ignore all of that and now you're gonna like yell out? And not only that, yell something that makes no fucking sense whatsoever? Answer him! Answer him! Every fucking special I do, there's always one. Always right down the fucking middle. Talking about hitting women, sweetheart. And I think you just added another reason. Jesus fucking Christ. I love this. I'm not even in a relationship with her, and she's fucking nagging me. Fucking unbelievable. Look, I understand hitting a woman's a bad thing, okay? Well, how come you can't fucking ask questions? I just don't understand. Like, if I got bit by a rattlesnake, wouldn't you guys have some questions? Right? How did it happen? Did you not see it? Were you fucking with it? How did this snake get so mad it almost killed you? Firemen put out a fire, they don't just drive away afterwards, they sift through the debris. How did it start? Here's an oily rag, right? Look, I realize I'm coming off pretty ignorant right about now. I realize that. Let me extend an olive branch then, okay? I realize that there's some animal guys out there, okay? Horrible guys, you know, have a rough day at the factory, come home, tuna casserole, and just start swinging, all right? I'm not trying to say that those people don't exist. I realize they exist. They should be buried underneath the prison, okay? So if I can admit that, ladies, can you at least admit that every ass kicking doesn't just fall out of the fucking sky? Really? Even hockey has 2 minutes for instigating, right? They understand that some back and forth happened before that shit, you know? You know what it is? Is every case is handled like that Rihanna one, where they just say, the guy's a piece of shit, fuck this guy, blah, 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 send him to jail, and then they never ask anything about that. You know, I'm not saying he should have done it, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying, dude, in your heart of hearts, what do you think was going down before that happened? You think she was just sitting there going, oh my God, Baskin Robbins, you want to get some ice cream? You know? Or do you think maybe they were having some epic end of the relationship fight and some crazy shit was being said? Maybe she was screaming in his ear some crazy female shit like, oh, fuck all your friends, I don't give a fuck. Maybe Maybe that's why I sell more albums than you, motherfucker! Right? To be fair, she could have just been sitting there going, I need a tissue. Do you keep those in the glove box? Oh my God, I'll bring my out! I'll bring my out! Now, fuck that, because you know what it is? They never address how women argue, which I think is a core of a lot of that shit. You know? And I gotta tell you something, man. Like, I never knew how women argued, but after 20 years of losing every significant battle in a relationship, I finally figured out how they argued. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm starting to turn this franchise around. I have begun a winning tradition. This is how they argue, as far as I can tell. All right? If they're right, they argue the point. And they stay on point and make sure you stay on point until you're down on your knees, apologizing, begging for forgiveness. All right? No problem with that. Totally respect it. But here's the thing. If they're wrong, they go rogue. They go off-road. They start thinking of shit you're sensitive about. Maybe you don't get along with your dad. And in their head, they just start concocting this evil statement. Totally designed, this desperate Hail Mary attempt to make you so fucking mad, you just call them a cunt. That's what it is. And cunt trumps all the bullshit they did to start the argument. Now it's not about that. Well, that's no reason to call me a cunt. And then that's it. You're in this room now, right? My girl knows my big thing is, my big fear in life is to be that dude who grows old, you know, grows old alone, has like that basement apartment, just screaming up at the younger couple, turn it down! That isn't music! So I noticed that anytime she was losing a fight, out of nowhere, she'd just be like, well, that's why you're just gonna grow old and be alone. Then I'd lose my shit. The next thing you know, I'm in the kitchen washing dishes for the 9th fucking time in a row. This is what the argument was about. I was so right. What happened? So if you learn anything from my ignorance tonight, just know this. Next time you're in a battle with your beautiful woman, your wife, girlfriend, whatever, and they start out of nowhere, okay? You're winning, and they just start saying that crazy shit out of nowhere. Just know in that moment you've won the fight, okay? All right? Don't get mad. Bob and weave, slip all of that shit. Maybe because you got a little dick. Just let that slide. Stay in the pocket of the argument. Okay? It's over. The argument is over. You've won. Just take a knee and run out the clock. All right? Yes. Lean on the ropes. Let them punch themselves out. And then in the end, you throw their psychology right back at them. Well, maybe we should discuss it later when you calm down. And they won't hook up with you for a couple of days. Who cares? Who cares? You rub one out. Rub one out like a man. It's the champagne of victory. Oh, so I've learned. I finally learned to, like, keep my cool in my relationship. No, but it's a scary time, dude. It's a scary time to raise a kid. That's the only thing I'm worried about. It's a really scary time, you know? I think they're getting ready to, like, microchip all of us. I'm not even joking, dude. Have you seen that new Duracell commercial where that woman can't find her kid in the park? You know? Dude, what kind of a fucked up way is that to sell batteries? It's a little hardcore, don't you think? Don't you remember the old battery commercials? They show some guy in a rainstorm, right? Changing a tire, takes out a flashlight. Hey, thank God they had Duracell. I can see how wet I'm getting. That was it. Now they're showing this woman, she can't find her kid in the park. She's sitting there like, Kevin? Kevin? Has anybody seen Kevin? Sitting there freaking out, then she pulls out this device. And then all of a sudden, Kevin comes running out of the woods. And they're just like, Duracell batteries. It's like, dude, fuck the batteries. What was that thing she just took out of her pocket? How did Kevin know to come out of the woods? He didn't have an antenna. His sneakers weren't glowing. What the fuck is in Kevin that is connected to that? Dude, don't just show me that like that's normal. Oh, yeah, remote control kids. Hey, let's go see mommy. Dude, that is some creepy New World Order shit. Evidently, it's a bracelet, and they just put the microchip in there. But that's how they're going to do it. They're going to scare the shit out of you that someone's going to take your kid. Ah, it's just a bracelet. Well, what if they take the bracelet? Oh, we'll just glue it to the forehead. Ah, we'll just sort of drill it in there. I'm telling you, whatever they're doing to dogs, they're going to be doing to us in like 10 years, right? They got those 6 microchips with their balls cut off. I'm telling you. They're going to have us on TV waiting to get rescued like some accountant looking all fucked up at the TV, right? That's what you're going to hear in the future. That's gonna be the future. Dude, you hear about Eddie? Ah, they turned his chip off, man! Dude, the guy's fucked. He is fucked. He made one little joke about the government. Next thing you know, he had to buy a round. His head wouldn't go through. They kept scanning it, nothing. He's outside screaming up at a satellite, turn it back on. They're not turning it back on. The dude's fucked. The dude is fucked. Dude, I ain't standing next to him. They're gonna shut my chip off. I'm developing all these new fears. Like, I have a fear of flying now. I never had a fear of it. It's not straight across the board flying. I don't like small planes all of a sudden. I just don't like them. It has nothing to do with the plane. I believe in the planes, okay? I just don't believe in the pilots. Because you know why? I don't think the airline does either. Which is why that dude is flying that little plane. The airline was basically like, all right, we'll give you like 28 people. See how you do, you know? You fly them out, you land, you bring another 28 back. We'll let you do this for a while. You do this for a while, we don't get any complaints. No up and down, no, none of that shit. We'll move you up to 35 people, and then one day you'll be in a jet. Woo, we're going a little faster, right? All right, well, it's good to be here, man. It's nice to be back in town here in New York. I didn't do shit today. I didn't. I'm a loser, man. Just sat around watching TV and all that type of stuff, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. You know what? I'm sick of pedophiles. Damn. Sex offenders. Dude, they're on every channel. Everybody is doing something on sex offenders. You know, it's like, dude, I got it. There's people out there touching kids, you know? But it's not everybody. It's a very small portion of the population. So, you know, take it down a few, because you're making it fucking awkward out there. Dude, you can't say hi to kids anymore. I love kids. I love kids. I like making faces at them on the airplane, making them laugh. Now parents are like, is that a sex offender? They start huddling their kids in, making me feel like a freak, you know? I'm terrified of kids now. Remember back in the day when a kid would come walking up to you, you could pat him on the head. Hey there, Rusty, how you doing, right? Now a kid comes walking up and I'm like, dude, get that thing the fuck away from me. Get it away from me. I'm serious, dude, get it away from me. Hands are up high, not aroused, just terrified. Please, for the love of God, I'm serious. Get that thing away from me, all right? Don't need the FBI or have to catch a predator guy to come walking out. Like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? No, sit down. That show, To Catch a Predator, man, that is horrible PR for white people, huh? Jesus Christ. Can they move that show to an urban area every once in a while? Just catch a couple of R. Kelly's peeing on some kids, you know? Just balance it out a little bit. It's like this every dude walking in that house got to look like me, like, hey, I'm here to fucking 8-year-old, how are you? No, but it's unbelievable. Everybody is talking about pedophiles and all that type of stuff. I don't know. Maybe there's more of them nowadays. Is it like easier now? Because of the internet, you know? You know, because back in the day, you had to work for it, right? You know, you had to get an ice cream truck, you had to buy some Funkicles, you had to figure out when the kids got out of school, you pick a straggler, you know? Now you just go on the internet, you just Google www.8-year-old whose parents have fallen asleep, you know, you're in there. No, it's unreal. When's the last time you saw a kid riding a bicycle down the street? You're never gonna see that shit again. You never see him playing outside. Parents just have them inside now, man. They just feed them and feed them, you know? Just making them fatter and fatter. I'm trying to make them unfuckable. That's what it is. That's why you see all these 250-pound 8-year-olds just come waddling out of the house. You can't get that kid in the car. I'm serious. Pedophiles in general are very skinny people. They gotta start chalking up their forearms. They're fucking blowing out their back. It's just a theory, people. Seriously. Honestly. Don't take this shit too seriously. Does he really think that? Does he think that that's why there's... Recently, everybody. That's like the big thing. Yes, I did. I'm psyched. I went down to the pound. I got one of those free dogs. Free dog. That's how I say it, too. I don't say I rescued a dog.
I hate when people say that stuff. They say, she's a rescue. I rescued her. Really? Did you pull her out of a burning building? Did you jump in a river with your wingtips still on with no concern for your own safety? Or did you just go down to the pound and get a free dog, you cheap fuck? Isn't that what you did? I did not want to get a rescue dog. I did not want to do that. My girl was all about it. She's like, we should rescue a dog. You want to rescue a dog? I'm like, no, I don't. She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of the dogs down the pound might be a little fucked in the head. You ever thought about that? Dude, the shelter is not a pet store. That is like Shawshank for a golden retriever. Why don't we just go down to the prison and rescue an inmate and just roll the dice that maybe the guy was wrongly convicted? You out of your mind? Fuck that. I want a brand new 2009 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some 1995 half a Labrador with part of its ear chewed off, you know? I gotta put together its backstory. Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. Because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, you know? Dude, that's an animal, man. That thing can kill you. Dude, a rabid squirrel. How fast a squirrel is. If I was walking home at night, minding my own business, and all of a sudden some squirrel started running at me, by the time I process, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? That thing would be up my leg, taking chunks out of the side of my head. I'd have to tell that story for the rest of my life in a bar. Dude, what happened to the side of your head? A fucking squirrel, all right? Christ, you don't think I'm sensitive? No, I'm not trying to say all those dogs are bad down there, but what if I accidentally get one of those Cujos or old Yellers, right? I'm telling you, they love dogs down there so much, you gotta watch out what they tell you. I was down there was this one dog, this thing was staring at me so goddamn hard. Maniac-looking dog. I'm like, what's up with this dog? She was just like, oh, he was chained to a pallet in a junkyard his entire life. And I'm like, does it have any issues? She's like, he's a little aggressive. It's like, well, were you gonna tell me that shit? You're just gonna throw at my hatchback? Let me figure it out on the ride home? The thing's pulling out a sharpened toothbrush to stick in my neck. No, that's what I'm saying. What if I accidentally get one of those crazy dogs? I get up at 2 in the morning to take a leak, and that is the exact moment its previous owner used to come home shit-faced, beat the crap out of the dog. I have no idea what I'm setting off. I'm sitting there shuffling along in my slippers, trying my robe. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I won't let this happen again. It's time to man up. Let's do this on 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Goes flying at me. I'm gonna be laying in the ground in a pool of my own blood. What do they do with the dog? They take him right back down to the pound like some sort of repeat offender. You're gonna see him on the news in like shackles, like shuffling along. We knew you'd be back there. Get me a milk bone. Go fuck yourself. You're gonna wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with that lampshade around his neck.
I'm awful with computers. I'm one of those guys, basically every button I hit on my computer has to like shut down, like regroup, somehow like deal with my idiocy, you know what I mean? Then there's always like some 8-year-old I see later on a laptop like, he's like breaking into the Pentagon, downloading movies that haven't even been made yet. I just got a plane ticket for $6. He just want to like slam his head in the thing. I'll tell you the only thing I like about my computer is I really enjoy spell check. No, I love it. You know what I love about spell check? You don't have to be close to getting the word right. Have you ever noticed that? All you gotta do is just get it like somewhere like within the ballpark of the word. It's almost like your computer can just start guessing like, I don't know, dinosaur? You know, when you're sitting there like an idiot, like, nah, I wasn't trying to spell dinosaur. So then what does your computer do? It starts throwing out like every D word it can possibly think of, like, okay, how about dictionary? Diary, any of this stuff looking familiar? Are we moving towards the goal or away from it? You ever spell a word so bad though your spell check has absolutely no clue what the hell you're trying to spell? What do you end up getting? You end up getting like a question mark. You got $1 million worth of technology just looking back at you like, just like, you got me, buddy? Which is pretty amazing, because I have all the words. Yeah, and that doesn't look like any of them. I can't even make a guess that's so screwed up. Would you like pass out and whack your head off the keyboard? Please tell me you're not that stupid. I love my dad, man. He's hilarious. He's such an emotional guy, you know. I know my dad was his funniest, though, was whenever you, like, broke something. Because my dad would totally flip out, right? But the words he used, you would have actually thought it was a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, you'd break a window, psh, he'd be like, nice! Real nice! Oh, that's beautiful! That is just beautiful! Hey, why don't you break them all? Hey, get a nice breeze going. And I was watching the Food Network recently. I swear to God, that channel is unbelievable. It's 24 hours of food. That's got to be like the Playboy channel in Ethiopia. I'm serious. If I was in Ethiopia, that is a channel I would watch, you know? Wouldn't watch like HBO or ESPN. I'd be sitting there watching the food going, damn, man, look at that cake. You know, like hanging out with all my skinny friends. Look at those hot dogs, man. Cubicle should be illegal, man. You know what a cubicle basically says? It basically says, like, you know what? We don't think you're smart enough for an office, but we don't want you to look at anybody. So you're going to get in there, and you're going to shut your face. And you just get in there, and you're, like, hunched over, typing away. Around lunchtime, you pop your head up like a gopher, like, hey, Steve, you want to get a sandwich or something? I said, get in there and shut your face. I was just asking for a sandwich or something. God, I hate that guy. I really hate that guy. It's time to go on the internet and look for a weapon. No, they're awful. Every time I see cubicles, I just want to just run through them and just knock them down, set everybody free. It's awful. It's like the same feeling you get when you're like in the pet store and you see all the rabbits and stuff. You just want to let them out. Pathetic, man. You know what I love about the cubicle? I always love the pathetic attempt to try to make the cubicle like a home. You know what I mean? There's always like a stuffed animal in there, or like a picture of your mom with like her disappointed eyes looking back out at you like, why have you accepted this as your lot in life? Why don't you have the balls to get up and walk out of this thing? I'm telling you, those people need to be rescued. You ever walk by a cubicle? The person in the cubicle always looks back out at you. Because they're starved for some sort of human contact. They'll just start up a conversation like, hey, is it raining out? I haven't seen the sky in like 6 days. They don't let us look out the windows. I'll tell you one thing I have realized, though. When you go to war, man, that's the one time when you really have to, like, appreciate rednecks, though. No, you know why? Because rednecks, they're like the one group of people that actually want to go to war. Everybody else tries to get out of it. Like, rich people never go to war. You ask a college kid if he wants to go to war, he's just like, I'm taking a sociology class, and I think war is, like, really stupid. My roommate's, like, half Afghanis. That's going to cause some static. You ask a redneck if he wants to go to war, he's just like, hell yeah! Absolutely, I'm ready right now. You just point the direction, buddy. I'm ready to do this. No, they're frightening people, but you got to utilize them. Seriously, you want to scare the enemy, okay? And rednecks are like America's pit bulls. They should just sedate those people, drop them off in Afghanistan, just let them run wild. Just be like, dude, just go do everything you ever dreamed of doing. Just go crazy. Have one of your friends play the banjo, it'll scare the hell out of them. No, that's what I would do, man. If I ever ran the draft, I would just draft psychos. I would. I wouldn't deal with people who worked in coffee shops. I'd go into the swamps of this country. I'd get people with rabies. I would. I'd get perverts, people like to grind up against other people on the subway. Just get like the cancer of this society and just send it over there. Homeless people like to talk to buildings. Just send it over there. Just irritate them. Bunch of freaks running around. Seriously, you wouldn't want to draft a guy like me. I'm a comedian. I'm useless. I'm a coward. I don't like confrontations. You draft a redneck. Not only is that dude a psycho, he'll actually save you money. Those guys show up to the army, like, here's your M16. They're like, I already got one. I got some stuff in the trunk you ain't ever seen before, buddy. I went on the internet, got me some of that surface to air stuff, took it out hunting, got me a moose and a duck at the same time. I didn't even see the duck. Duck was over her. I'm aiming at the moose. Duck's over her. That's my peripheral over her. And the shot went up the moose's ass, and the shrapnel from his antler hit the duck. Duck came down. It was the best damn duck I ever ate.
I'm not saying your problems get solved, but at least they're taken seriously. You know, people, you got 1-800 numbers, you got ribbons, there's groups. People give a shit. Anything happens to a guy, it's just considered funny. Some woman cut her husband's dick off, threw it in the garbage disposal, and turned it on. People thought it was hilarious. They were, hey, Stumpy, nobody cares. You think if a guy removed a woman's titty and threw it in the dryer, anybody would be joking about it the next day? The entire country would grind to a halt. There'd be a moment of silence. The NFL would have some special colored headband everybody had to wear for an entire month. The most effeminate color they could possibly come up with. All my heroes are going down. Arnold Schwarzenegger, another great man.
All right, thank you. Jesus Christ. Thank you very much. How are you? Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. I'm becoming a psycho. I've realized that about myself. I am. I watch conspiracy theory and like slap fights till like 2 in the morning on YouTube, you know? Yeah, I start like piecing shit together. I'm becoming that guy. I'm like that guy, you know, when you sit there, you're sitting there drinking in a bar and all, you know, some guy's cool, you're talking about the game, then all of a sudden he's just like, you know, there's no gold behind our currency. You realize that? You're like, oh yeah, that's great. Pick up your drink, just fucking walk away. Oh, that's what I'm becoming. Totally into conspiracy. That's why I think Barack Obama is going to win the election. I think they're going to let him win because they're in the process of bankrupting this country, and I think that they need a black guy to blame it on. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Dude, it'll totally feed into the rednecks. They'll be like, you see what happened? Dude, he's only half black. Well, that's the half that did it. That's what happened. I bet the white half was saying. That's why, you know, see, I'm just fucking losing people. I am. I just look at TV and nothing makes sense to me. I'm sick of them telling me shit is shocking that is completely obvious. Crocodile hunter dies. Oh, can you fucking? Yes, I can totally believe it. It's why I watched the show. I watched it every week because I knew eventually he was going to fucking die, and I wanted to see it. Right? Oh, I like that dog, the bounty hunter video, or the phone message he left. You know, people are like, can you believe he left that racist message? It's like, dude, look at him. Look at him, some redneck with a mullet down to his ass. He drives a pickup. He's got the gloves with the fingers cut off. Yeah, who would have thought he had a couple of fucked up ideas rolling around in his head, you know? Dude, you know what would have been shocking? If he could play the cello. That would have been shocking, right? Yeah, then you'd be sitting there like, goddamn, look at Doc. Here it is. I thought he was some racist on his way to a steak and shake, and he's busting out a little Beethoven. God damn, I owe this guy an apology, you know? God, I'd love to see his iPod. I can't imagine the eclectic mix of music. This is how much time I spend alone on the road, man. I actually spent so much time alone on the road, I actually like contemplated milk to the point I can't even fucking drink it anymore. Sitting there drinking, like, man, this stuff is great, tastes awesome, you know? Then I started thinking it comes out of the carton, and I just did the police work. It comes out of a cow, and I'm like, I am fucking suckling from another species. We have such a crazy relationship with cows. You ever think about that? No, you can nurse from it, you can eat it, right? You can tip it over when it's sleeping, but if you fuck it, you're going to jail. All right, I'm thinking about getting a dog, everybody. I am. No, I'm at the point. Nothing alive is dependent on me. I gotta get out of this tailspin, man. So I'm thinking about getting a dog. My girlfriend wants me to like adopt a dog. She's like, you want to adopt a dog? We should rescue one. You want to do that? I'm like, no, I don't.
She's like, why not? I go, because I think a lot of those dogs, they're a little fucked in the head. Yeah, how do you think they ended up down there? It's like, dude, that's not a pet store. That's like doggy death row, all right? Why don't we just go to a prison and like adopt an inmate and on the off chance that maybe they didn't commit the crime, just roll the dice? Dude, fuck that. I want a brand new 2008 Bulldog, all right? I don't want some like 1995, half a Labrador. It's got part of its ear chewed off, Every time I go to use the toaster, it starts freaking out. Because his last owner hung him from the ceiling fan every time the Jets didn't cover the over, Dude, that is an animal. That thing could kill you. If a squirrel wanted to fuck me up, if it just started running at me, by the time I processed, like, is that a rat? Is that mechanical? By the time I figured it out, it would have ran up my leg and just taken chunks out of my ear. Then I got to tell that story for the rest of my life, sitting in a bar. Dude, what happened to you? A fucking squirrel, all right? Never get laid again. That's what I'm saying, right? I get one of those crazy dogs, get up at like 3 in the morning to take a leak, right? I'm shuffling to the bathroom, and that's the exact moment his previous owner used to come home shit-faced and beat the crap out of the dog, right? I got no clue. I'm just, sitting there shuffling to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the dog's getting all amped up, like, fuck this shit, man. I promised myself I wouldn't let this happen again, all right? It's time to man up, man up. Ah! It's flying at me. Takes a big chunk out of my neck. Then what? I'm laying on the ground bleeding. What are they gonna do with the dog? They're gonna take him right back down to the prison like some repeat offender, have like shackles on him and stuff. He's just sitting there hopping back in. We knew you'd be back. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Get me a milk bone, Wheel him in like Hannibal Lecter with like that lampshade around his neck. I gotta work on my temper, though. Something I really gotta do. I let like the thoughts just spin away, I was on a plane the other day. I actually had the urge to elbow an old lady in the face. It was like compelling. It was unbelievable. When you go to get off a plane, there's like rules when you go to get off the plane, all right? It goes row by row by row. And this lady was all like, ooh, I'm 90. I get to cut everybody, right? So I'm competitive. I start fucking boxing her out, right? Start bringing down like the overhead luggage, So she just starts like waddling around me. And all of a sudden I just feel my elbow like, dude, you're gonna take this shit? This is ridiculous, man. The whole half of the plane is watching it. Come on, man. Dude, we got a wide open shot. Just real light. Poof, you gotta hit it that hard. And then you can play it off. I'm literally talking to my elbow like, dude, come on, man. We can't do this shit, all right? This chick's like 95 years old. We can't do it. I thought I had my body under control, and she got like to right about there, and then I felt my foot like, dude, we could still trip her. Just throwing that out there. All right, I'm out of time. You guys were awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you.